Hi, welcome to episode 75 of the Passionate Sprint podcast. My name is Tracy. You can find me as Schnüffeltier on Ravelry and Instagram. There is a Ravelry group for the podcast. Please come over and join. And thank you so much for being here. As you can see, I'm still in Gizmo's room for my recording. And yeah, we're getting there. It's a long process, but we're getting there. He's getting better a little bit each day. And I did start this before, this is my second time starting, and he jumped on the table and stopped the video. And as I have no idea how to edit, I just have to start over. So I put him on the windowsill, which I hope he will stay there for a while. And yeah, he's jumping. That's a good thing. He's, like I said, he's getting better. I'm not sure if he will ever be back to normal or if we just have to deal with it the way it is now, but it's still better than what it looked like in the beginning. So I'm grateful. Good. Now, today's show is going to be a short one, I think, because I do not have all that much to talk about, and I couldn't wait longer to podcast because my son is going to turn 2 on Wednesday, so in 2 days, and yeah, you know how it is. I have to make cake tomorrow and get everything ready, and then it's his birthday and we have family here, and yeah, I don't know when I would have found time to do it, so better short than nothing at all. Okay, what I'm wearing today. I wear my iDays cardigan. It's a free pattern by Cerelia Rose. I knit it out of Barocco Vintage Junkie. I'm not going to stand and show you the back. It's a cardigan. It's a beautiful cardigan. It has a nice cable pattern on the back. And if you've been a long time watcher, you've seen it a million times because I've been working on it during the podcast and I've worn it a few times. So yeah, it's very warm. I might lose it sometime soon. Good. Now, knitting in the past. I finished one thing and it's a pair of socks and I cannot find my sock blockers. I have no idea where they are. So I have to show them to you like this. These socks were knit out of Dancing Dog Dyeworks yarn in her Sparkle Paws, Twinkle Paws. I'm gonna check for the label in a minute. The colorway is I Chihuahua. These are for me, so a German size 38. I got the yarn from my husband for Easter a few years ago, and as you can see, it's really sparkly. Can you see the sparkles when I move it? Yeah, it was really nice to work with, and I do have a page in my knitting journal because I've been very good with keeping that updated. And Glitter Paws, that's the name for the base. So here we are. That is my page. I did 64 stitches top down, my usual vanilla socks, US 2s, and yeah. That's it. Pair of socks finished. I think it's pair number 13 for the year. I'm doing good with my sock knitting. I'm quite happy. And yeah, no sock blockers, so this has to do. And I did finish another thing that I cannot show because it's secret knitting. It's for a gift and the person watches the podcast, so I can't show it. But I do have knitting in the present, and I have two things. I have one that you've seen before. It's still in my needle runs through it gigantic box bag, and it is the Audrey cardigan by Jean Richmond, out of yarn that my friend dyed for me, and I'm still trying to convince her to open up an Etsy shop, so maybe that will happen in the future. I have 2 wee little pieces of yarn left, and I am going to knit my second sleeve with this yarn. I did bind off the body yesterday and I tried it on. It fits perfectly. I did show a picture on Instagram, and yeah, I have to do the second sleeve, although sleeve, it might be a strong word because that's all of the sleeve I'm going to be having. So I am going to have this done by next podcast for sure. It fits, like I said, it fits great. The yarn is gorgeous. Look at it. It's so pretty. What I changed. The pattern is completely knit in around, which is great for a garter stitch cardigan, you know. For a garter stitch sleeve, not so much, because I knit my sleeves flat, so I could knit, you know, garter stitch, and I'm going to seam them together, which means I'm going to seam this little piece of sleeve, and then I'm going to seam the underarm to make it look nice in the end. When you want to knit garter stitch in the round, you have to knit one round, purl one round, knit around, purl around. And I didn't want to do that, so I did that. Seaming it up will be less work than purling every other row. And as you can see, my sleeves are quite small because I just don't have enough yarn. I knew that when I started the cardigan because I had 3 skeins. The pattern calls for 5 skeins of yarn for my size, I think. I have to check again because that just seems... Okay, I don't have the pattern here, but you know, if I had 4, I could have knit the pattern as it's written with 3/4 length sleeves. I don't. I have 3 skeins and I'm quite happy with the short sleeves anyway. So yeah, this will be done today, I hope. And I love working on it. It's going to be so nice. And yeah, it just takes forever because, you know, garter stitch. I love knitting garter stitch, but as a cardigan, it just shrinks up so much that, yeah, it's going to be amazing. Okay, so the other thing on my needles is a new thing, and it is another pattern from this book, Boys Knits by Katja Frankel, and it's actually something that I've knit this year before. It is the Deckard that I made for my son that he is wearing right now every day as his outerwear jacket, and I'm going to do the vest this time because I do not have a lot of yarn. And the yarn I'm using is Barocco Vintage Chunky, and it's the leftovers from the cardigan that I am wearing right now. So this is the ball band, and I have 2 skeins that I hand wound because I did it in here with my kitty. Oh, now here we go. I have 2 skeins that I had left over after I finished my jacket here, or my cardigan that I'm wearing. And I wanted to make something for my son that he could wear pretty soon. And, you know, it's a stockinette stitch vest that's knit in one piece. So I can't really show you a lot. This is what it looks like. I'm going to have enough yarn, I hope. The good thing is with this pattern, there is supposed to go a zipper in, which is great, which I will do. It also has the band where you put the zipper in knit on with the whole thing, so you do not have to pick up stitches in the end. And it also has the knit on edge around the arms, so when I'm done, it's done. You know, I don't have to pick up stitches to add more stuff. I think that will be fine. And what I want to do to make it look not that boring, because you know it's just garter stitch, stockinette stitch in one color. When it's done, I want to embroider a little robot on the left bottom part. And I also have some super cute robot fabric that I could sew up a long sleeved sweater to put underneath the thing. So yeah, that's my plan for this. And that's all I can say about it. I'm knitting it on my Xiaogu. No, not the Xiaogu. I always get those confused. On the Clover interchangeable needles. And I'm using the 10.5 US tip. That's a 6.5 millimeter needle. So that's it for my knitting in the present. I want to finish my sweater. And then I'm going to start a new one. I just have to decide if I want to do the So Faded or the Pavement first. These are my things for knitting in the future for now. I also, of course, want to start socks because I have not knit on socks in a while now, and that's just weird. So yeah, that's going to happen. I do not have spinning. I have a little bit for new stuff that I put back behind me because Gizmo was next to me until he decided to jump on the table and delete everything. So I have to get it now. Okay. I have 2 things that I ordered and 1 gift to show. I did order last year, I think it was in November, the Fat Squirrel, Amy Beth. she put out a made to order listing for super cute project bags with teapots and woodland creatures and trees and stuff. And I got one. I was so excited. It's my first ever Amy Beth bag. And I got a shipping notice in the beginning of January. And yeah, mid-April, I still had no project bag. So I contacted her and asked if she could check on it, if she could see what's going on with my bag. And she just sent out a new one. And that was here within a week. So yeah, the first one definitely got lost in the mail because, my karma sucks. So, but I have it now. This is my project bag that I got from the Fat Squirrel. It's super cute. The fabric is very sturdy. I love the fabric. It is super nice. And yeah, I am very, very happy that I have it. I'm going to use it. I don't care if it's winter or not. I'm going to use this bag because it's so cute. And it also goes so well with my nails, like my sweater does, because I'm weird. And yeah, that's my new project bag. The other thing I ordered is another thing that I had thought was lost in the mail, because I got an email that said, yeah, your order is complete in the beginning of the month or in the middle of the month. And shipping inside Germany does not take all that long, So when it wasn't here at the end of April, I contacted Molly from a homespun house and said, I'm still waiting for that. Did it get lost? Because, that would just work so great with my life right now. And she said, no, it didn't get lost. I was able to ship it later. So it should be with you. Maybe today or tomorrow. A week later, it arrived. I was already contemplating contacting her again because, shipping in Germany, even if it's from her to me, which is basically through the whole country, should not take longer than 2 or 3 days. And it took 1.5 weeks. But I received it. It is my first skein from a homespun house. And it's going to be the last one for a while. Not because I don't like it. I'm sorry. This is very crinkly. But because it's very expensive. And I just can't afford that right now. But this is my skein. It was the April Yarn Club. And I actually have to check again because I'm pretty sure that I did buy the Hogwarts Harry Potter inspired yarn club. And this yarn is called Starlight Galaxy with Cosmic Dust Mini. And that just kind of doesn't scream Harry Potter to me, so I have to check that. But yeah, I got this skein of yarn in the mail. It's quite nice. It's not a skein of yarn that I would have gotten on my own, just if I had seen it, I would not have screamed, yeah, I want that, because it's not my colors, not really. But I still like it, and that's the thing with a club, you just never know what's going to happen. And there is a Sucre Sucre mini in here. And you see, it's a little donut with galaxy frosting. And yeah, like I said, I like the yarn, I like the mini, but I have to check because I really think I did order a Harry Potter inspired yarn, and that's not a Harry Potter inspired yarn. So I have to check. Maybe I'm just an idiot and ordered the wrong stuff. But yeah. So, I normally wouldn't mind, but it's really very expensive. Those clubs with the Sucre Sucre mini are not easily affordable for one skein of yarn. So I want to make sure that I got what I really wanted. And it's not her fault at all. Like I said, maybe I'm just an idiot, which is totally possible. So now let's move on to a wonderful gift that I received in the mail. And it's from my friend Sadie, who has the Yarnivore podcast. And we are hosting a Use Your Books knit along this year. So go check out her podcast if you don't already watch it, because you really should. So it was my birthday, and a long time ago. It was in January. But her life is actually just as beautiful as mine is right now. So it took a while for her to get my birthday gift out to me, which is absolutely fine because, like I said, normal and real life can be difficult sometimes, and we both got hit hard this year, so I don't care and I don't mind, and I would have been fine if she didn't find the time to send anything at all. So I'm very, very excited for this. So this here is from Into the World. It's from their club, and it's the colorway Godric's Hollow. It's a Polwarth and silk, and it's grays and yellows and orange, and it's perfectly me, and it's absolutely not her. So I am so grateful that she sent it to me, because I love it. And you know, because this is so much my colors, she sent me this beautiful skein of Knit Pick Stroll in the tiger hand painted colorway. And she sent me a bunch of blue minis for my son's blanket. And then she sent me fabric, and they're all Batman fabrics, because I love Batman. And I cannot get these fabrics here. And there will be a dress and a skirt for sure. There's this one. This one. This one. I got this one. And I also do have a project bag that Sadie made out of this fabric. And I got it a long time ago from her shop. And some coordinating blue flame fabric. I'm so excited. I'm gonna have a Batman dress for sure. Because the first piece that I showed, this one here, this is a very big piece of fabric. Like 2 meters or something like that. So yes. I'm very excited about that. Really, it's going to happen. Because I love Batman. That's the truth. Now, I do not have an indie of the week, because the yarn that I'm using right now from my friend, she does not have a shop yet, so I cannot link her. But I do have stuff for reading, listening, watching. I've been spending a lot of time in this room, and I've been listening to an audiobook series by a German author called Christoph Marzi, and it's the Emily Lang series. It's there are 3 physical real books, and there are 7 parts to the audiobook series, and it goes on forever, because I think every book has between 500 and 600 pages, and I love it. I've listened to it for the first time, I think 8 or 9 years ago, and I listen to it at least once a year. So I've been doing that. I'm on part 5 already. So yeah, like I said, I've been spending a lot of time in this room. And then I am watching Teen Wolf again, because I just want to. I am on season 3 right now. And yeah, it's Teen Wolf. I love Teen Wolf. You all know that. And I'm watching it again because I want to. That's the only explanation I have. I know there are a few things that I would love to watch that are new to me, but my brain doesn't work right now for stuff like that. You know, that's why all of the things I'm knitting are either garter or stockinette stitch, because I can't focus on anything right now until life starts being a little bit more normal again around here. So we will see. Now, sewing. I do have things to show, but I did not sew a single stitch because the sewing machine is in the other room. And you know, when I come downstairs, I want to spend time with my sick cat, and I do not want to start getting all my sewing stuff into this room so I can move it back into the other room in a few weeks. So I didn't do that. But I did trace and cut a lot. I traced a lot of patterns and I cut a lot of stuff. And my eye is super itchy. I'm not sure why. So the first thing that I did trace and cut is this pajama pattern. I'm going for the short sleeve version and the shorts. And I did buy some really nice fabric to make this out of, but I wanted to try it first, you know, like make a wearable muslin. And I know it's a pajama. It doesn't have to be perfect, you know, but what's better than one pajama? 2 pajamas. So I did use this fabric, which is not the prettiest fabric ever, but I got the whole piece for €2 at a fabric fair, and I was able to cut the whole thing. So this is the first thing that I cut. It's the pajamas, and they do have a little bit of fabric left, but it's, you know, I just barely squeezed it out. And then I did start cutting things for my son. The first thing I cut was out of this amazing Jungle Book fabric, and it's just a t-shirt, you know, a small sleeve, a short sleeve t-shirt. It looks like this. The pattern is in the October magazine, which is specialized on kids patterns, and it is the summer 2015 issue. So that's the thing I did, cut. And then I cut another thing for my son, and it's a pajama. It's a long pajama that's going to have a zipper up the front, you know, like an overall. And it looks like this. This is the pattern that I used. It is in a German magazine called Lust auf Handarbeiten, which is actually a translation from a Danish sewing magazine. And this is the pattern, the magazine that I'm using. It's the Lust auf Handarbeiten #1, issue 1, 2017. And this fabric is so cute. It is super soft, like really super soft. And this is, you know, 2 of the pieces, and this is the fabric. Isn't that cute? It's so cute. I have a little bit of the fabric left, and I was thinking about what I could do with it, because, you know, making a t-shirt out of this fabric would be just too much. I think that's just overkill, walking around with it like that. But I'm going to make underwear for myself. Actually, I'm gonna make 2 panties out of this, because why not? No one's gonna see them, and the fabric is so nice. So yes. So these are the things that I have already cut, and I still just they're all made out of jersey fabric, which means I'm gonna sit on my serger and they're gonna be done in no time. And I'm also going to cut a long sleeve sweater for Tim out of a different October magazine. And yeah, I'm gonna do that later, and hopefully be able to sit on my sewing machine next week when my cat is good enough to leave this room. So we will see. Good. Do not have cross stitch. I do have weaving. It's way back. Yeah, you will not be able to see it. Back there is my loom, and I do have a 32-inch Ashford Richard Heddle loom. And I also have the 8-inch or 10-inch, I think it's a 10-inch sample it loom. And on my big loom, I did put on a warp with the help of my husband out of succulent leftovers. Just scraps, you know, and I'm doing the weft in succulent scraps as well. It's going to be very colorful, but I want to try something. I want to try making fabric for sewing. And I did not want to use the yarn that I have planned to use for this, because if I screw it up, I will be, you know, quite pissed. But if I screw this one up, it's just succulent scraps, you know, it's not super special stuff. And the weft we put on is 6 meters long. So I should end up with a finished and washed fabric of 5 meters by about between 70 and 75 centimeters wide. And then I will try my hand at sewing something with my own made fabric. And yeah, let's just hope this will work, because I have such a nice idea. Good. I think that's it for this week. I still do not draw for winners this week because I just cannot do it. I'm sorry. But yeah, real life has to get normal again, and then I can go on and do things for others. Okay, good. That's it for this week. I hope you all have a wonderful week. I will talk to you again, hopefully next week, with a few more things that I can show that are actually done and not just started or cut. But I can't tell now. We'll have to wait and see. Good. If you want to know what's going on with my cat, you should follow me on Instagram and watch my stories, because I do put up a lot of videos and photos of him there. So, you know, only people who are interested in it can watch it without having their Instagram feed clogged with pictures of my cat. So that's what you could do. And I think that's it. I hope you all have a wonderful time. Enjoy everything you do. Bye.